Who wins, Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira?
He's in trouble,
Jon Jones has regained!
This fight actually happens. We might be looking at one of the biggest fights in MMA history. Granted, in order for this to come to love, Jon needs to stop ducking Tom Aspinall, and Alex needs to win on March 8th and move up to heavyweight. I like thinking about this though because Alex is my favourite fighter, and if beats Jon to become the first ever triple champ, I think he is the greatest of all time. And obviously Jon Jones is most people's GOAT of MMA, the most complete fighter the sport has ever seen. We're breaking this down from every angle: striking, grappling, fight IQ, and most importantly, the paths to victory for both fighters. And at the end, I'll tell you who I think wins. Let's start with the numbers. Jon Jones, 6 feet 4 inches, 84.5 inches reach, undefeated in the octagon, technically. Alex Pereira, 6 feet 4 inches, 79-inch reach. He does have losses on his record, but he is a 2-division, GLORY, kickboxing champion. Now, experience-wise, Jon Jones is the clear veteran, but Alex has been way more active in recent years. In fact, he is about to tie Jon's record for title defences in a 12-month span on March 8th. So the question boils down to, does experience beat momentum? I think in this case, Jon's experience is too valuable. Jon loves to study footage of fighters, and there is a lot of footage of Alex. He can use this to form a game plan to slow that momentum down. We have seen him do it with multiple fighters. I don't want to get sidetracked, but the lack of footage on Tom Aspinall has me a little concerned if Jon does fight him, but that wouldn't be an issue for this matchup. Let's break down striking. Does Pereira have the edge? Now let's be real. If this is a pure stand-up fight, Jon Jones is in serious trouble. I say this as someone who thinks Jon is the most complete fighter in the world. He has the most vicious elbows in any combat sport. Obviously, he had that body kick KO in his last match. You can't mention Jon Jones without mentioning oblique kicks, but Alex Pereira's striking is on another planet. He's not just powerful, he's surgical. His left hook is a nuke. Ask Adesanya, ask Strickland, even Jiri. One mistake and you're gone. But he's not just a one trick. His leg kicks are brutal. His debut he won with a knee to the head. He head kick knocked out Jiri. He knocked out Roundtree with body shots. Alex is an absolutely lethal striker. Now, Jon Jones does have solid striking, but let's be honest, he's never been a knockout artist. He wins on creativity, oblique kicks and fight IQ. But against a sniper like Pereira, that's dangerous. Remember when Dominic Reyes was tagging Jon up? Now imagine that, but with Pereira's power. If Jon fights at range and lets Pereira get comfortable, it's game over. Alex has never fought someone who eye pokes as much as Jon, but it's hard to judge how much that would come into play. The big X faker is the grappling. Now here's the biggest concern for any Alex fan. If Jon decides to take him down, he will. Jon was out wrestling Olympic wrestlers. If Jon takes Alex down, he will have the overwhelming advantage. We saw what he did to Cyril Gane, took him down, choked him out in 2 minutes. But here's a small thing to note. Jon hasn't wrestled aggressively in years. He fell in love with striking. Against Reyes, barely any takedown attempts. Against Santos, same thing. And Pereira, he's getting better at wrestling. He outgrappled Blachowicz in round 3. He has been training it a lot and got his jiu-jitsu black belt. And who's been his main training partner? Glover Teixeira, former light heavyweight champ and one of the best ground fighters in the game. Glover has been drilling Pereira's wrestling, takedown defense, and even his submission skills. Does this mean Pereira out-wrestles Jon Jones? Probably not. But it does mean that Jon can't just assume an easy takedown and call it a day. If Pereira stuffs takedowns early, Jon's in trouble. I don't think it would be near enough to fight back against Jon, even if Jon is rusty though. Jon would also obviously train a lot of grappling in his camp before the fight. I think if Jon uses his brain, which he will, and tries to take Alex down every chance he can, whether it is in the clinch or just shooting for takedowns, Alex will get brutalised. This leads me to chin and durability. Can Jon survive Pereira's power? Even though Jon would kill Alex on the ground, he still has to get to that position. If he walks into the wrong strike, will he go out cold? Jon Jones has one of the best chins in MMA history. He's never been knocked out. He ate bombs from Gustafsson, Reyes, and even Santos. But here's the thing, he's never faced anyone like Pereira. This isn't light heavyweight anymore. If Pereira lands that left hook, Jon's chin will finally be tested at heavyweight. We are talking about a guy nicknamed Stone Hands. Now, Pereira's chin, it's solid. Adesanya knocked him out once, but overall, he's eaten shots from big punches. If Jon lands, I don't think it's enough to put Alex away, unless it is an elbow. Jon's absolutely lethal, and if he lands some clean elbows in the clinch, I think he will really hurt Alex even if he doesn't finish him. With all of that said, if this fight turns into a war, I actually favour Pereira. I want to recap their paths to victory because I truly do believe either man can win. Jon Jones' path to victory: wrestle early, don't stand and trade, keep it ugly. Elbows in the clinch, grind him down. Gas Pereira out, test his cardio in deep waters. Alex Pereira's path to victory: keep it standing, make Jones hesitate, pressure with leg kicks, take away Jones' movement. Find the left hook, if he lands clean it's over. I think this fight is super close. Jon Jones is regarded as the GOAT for a reason, but I see two big problems for him. One, he hasn't fought a real striking threat in years. Let's be honest. When was the last time Jon Jones fought an elite, dangerous striker? Cyril Gane? Not really. Gane has great footwork but didn't even throw a punch before getting taken down. Dominic Reyes, you could argue, is good, and Reyes arguably beat Jones in that fight. Thiago Santos, he outstruck Jones despite tearing both knees mid-fight. Gustafsson rematch, that wasn't the same Gustafsson anymore. So here's the problem. Jon hasn't faced a killer striker in years, and now he's fighting one of the hardest hitters in combat sports history. Pereira is not just a good striker, he's a former 2-division Glory kickboxing champion, and his power is absolutely terrifying. One clean left hook, and it's over. If Dominic Reyes and Santos were tagging Jones, what happens when Pereira lands? This is a totally different level of danger than anything Jon has faced before. 2, he looks really slow recently. Let's be real, Jon Jones isn't the same guy we saw at light heavyweight. He used to be fast, explosive, unpredictable, but at heavyweight, he looks way slower. His last fight versus Stipe, he looked like he was in slow motion. Against Cyril Gane, he looked dominant, but let's be honest, that fight was too short to really see how Jon moves at heavyweight. He barely took a punch before getting the takedown. But let's compare Jon's movements in his prime versus now. Prime Jon was constantly moving, mixing strikes, closing distance fast. Heavyweight Jon looks stiffer, slower, and less mobile. And against a sniper like Alex Pereira, that's a big problem. Because Pereira isn't just powerful, he's quick. He cuts angles fast, throws his left hook in the blink of an eye, and steps into time counters perfectly. If Jon is even half a second slower than before, that might be the difference between getting hit and getting knocked out. And if he stands and trades with Pereira, I think Pereira knocks him out. I'm calling it Alex Pereira, 2nd or 3rd round KO. But what do you guys think? Does Jon Jones just ragdoll him? Or does Pereira add another legendary name to his highlight reel? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Let me know your fantasy matches in the comments and click on one of the videos on screen to continue watching.